In this video, we're looking at 3 effective ways that we can improve our on-ice turns and check position by working on flexibility, strength, and balance. If you don't have good back flexibility and you aren't able to turn so well, you're going to really struggle with turning and checking your position. In the same way, if you have the flexibility in your back, you're able to twist, but you have no strength, you're unable to control it, that's no good either. And finally, if you've got the strength, you've got the flexibility, but you don't have the balance, well, you're going to struggle too. So let's look at the best ways that we can get around this off the ice. But before you get started, make sure you do a quick warm-up. The first thing we're going to want to do in order to improve our flexibility is get our back loosened off a little bit. So I'm going to stand next to a wall and I've got my feet and my hips facing parallel to the wall, and I'm going to rotate my torso to face the wall. And I'm going to put my hands on the wall like so, and I'm going to ever so gently stretch. Ever so gently, just easing into the stretch, getting my spine to just move a little bit. But I can't stress enough, this is done very gently. You don't want to just twist and hurt yourself, very gently. And for anyone who has pre-existing medical conditions with the spine, you should seek out a doctor's advice before trying this one. So we also need to make sure we practice it the other side. So I turn to face the other way, I rotate, hands on the wall, and ever so gently, I just turn. The next exercise we're going to do to improve our mobility of our back is a simple back stretch laying on a mat. We're going to lift one knee up, and we're going to drop it over to the side ever so gently, and we're going to look with our head in the opposite direction, and we're going to hold. If you want, you can use your other hand to apply gentle pressure to the stretch like so, and just ease into it. Then you're going to hold it for a good 20 to 30 seconds. When you're done with this side, we're going to repeat to the other side. So we're going to change over. We're going to lift one knee up, drop it over to the side, look in the opposite direction, and apply gentle pressure. Now, if that's too easy for you, you can take it to the next level by doing it this way. You're going to bring both knees up, arms out to the side, and you're going to drop both knees over to the side and look back and just ease into it. Now, you want to keep your shoulders as flat to the mat as you possibly can during this exercise. Don't just drop over and go with it like that and turn your head. You won't actually get a stretch in your back. So you want to keep your shoulders as flat to the floor as you can, and even your upper back needs to be flat. So you bring it back to the middle, and then drop it over to the side. I don't have room, so I'm going to shuffle out a bit, drop to the side, and look back. And you can see here, I'm trying to keep as flat to the mat as I possibly can as I do this exercise. So now we've got our back a little more mobile, we're going to drop down onto the mat and do some strength work. Now, the first strengthening exercise we're going to do to strengthen up our obliques is bicycle crunches. And they look like this. You're going to crunch up a bit, and you're going to bring the opposite knee to your elbow like so, and then change, 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 like this. This is bicycle crunches. Now, this is a great one for strengthening up those obliques, as I said already. Now, it's going to completely depend on your fitness level as to how many you can do. I'd aim for doing 10 to 20 ideally, and for 2 sets. Now, because we've just done an ab exercise, we now need to do a back exercise. It's really bad to do only ab exercises and no back exercises. You need your body to be nice and balanced. So in order to achieve this, we need to do a back exercise. And for that, we're going to do some back raises. Our fingers to our temples, face down to the mat, keep our feet together, and we're just going to lift, hold, and down. Lift, hold, and down. It should be a slow, controlled movement. We don't want this, something like that. This isn't it. You want to just contract, control up, hold, and then lower back down. Now, with this exercise, we're going to aim for 2 sets of 10. But again, this depends on your fitness level. If you can do more, fantastic. For this next exercise, we're going to need a band, and we're going to need something to attach it to the door with. What we're going to do is we're going to do an exercise that works the obliques here. Now, the reason we want to work the obliques here is you need that strength to do your check positions on the ice and stop yourself closing off at the end of a turn. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a nice wide base with the feet. We're going to hold the band with both hands right out in front of us like so. And we're going to keep the hips facing forwards the entire time, and holding the band like this, locked out in front of you, we're going to rotate to the side and back, to the side and back. And we want to isolate this as much as possible. You should feel your core working nice and strong with this, and your feet don't move at all. Twist and back. So remember, this is in isolation. None of this. I'm not doing it like that. Okay? Straight in front. Turn and back. So for this one, we want to do about 2 sets of 10 on each side. So when you feel comfortable doing this and ready for the next step, we can make it even more specific to our turns. So to make this very specific to what we're trying to do on the ice in improving our turns, let's take a 3-turn for example. And what we're going to do is we're going to work on the entrance position and then the exit position. So we're here, leg is back, and we imagine you're skating on a left forward outside. My arms are here, and I know the circle I'm turning around is right by there. So I need to face my body there. So I'm going to hold onto the band, and I'm going to bring my foot in and rotate and back out and rotate and back out. And like this, I'm working my body to get used to the feeling of rotating to face the center of the circle before 3-turn. And we can do the same thing for the exit too. So I'm here, I've turned a right forward outside 3-turn here, so I'm on my right leg, and I'm holding here, and I'm going to try and balance on this right leg, and I'm going to rotate and back, rotate and back. Now this is very, very challenging, but it is going to improve your ability to check a 3-turn, because you're going to strengthen up all this side of the body, which is required when you do the turn. You turn to backwards, bam, and we check everything like that. So if you're nice and strong here, and you're good at this exercise, you'll find it much easier on the ice to do your 3-turn. So let's try it again. We've just done our turn, and we want to practice checking it. I have my foot open at the back, and I'm going to rotate and back, rotate and back. Do it. Now I'd recommend doing 5 times the entrance, turn it round, 5 times the exit. And you're going to repeat it on both sides. So I'm here and rotate and back, rotate and back. And again for the exit. Exit and check, back, check, back. We've had a look at working the flexibility. We've had a look at working the strength. Now let's look at working the balance. So for working the balance, you're either going to need a balance board or some fuzzy socks. So for the balance part of this, we're basically just going to practice our turn exactly as we would on the ice, but off the ice. So here I'm going to get on my balance board, and I'm going to stand. I'm going to put the weight on the ball of my foot, because in this example, I'm trying to do a forward outside 3-turn. So I'm here, and I'm going to move through all the positions as I would on the ice, turn and check. Like so. I'm going to walk through it exactly like I would on the ice. Now for me, this is a lot harder to do than it is on the ice, because you're on the spot. Anytime you're balancing on the spot on the ice, it's much harder. When you have some speed, it's easier to maintain balance. But if you can do it on the floor with your weight on the ball of your foot and achieve a good check position and balance, you'll be surprised at how well that translates to the ice. So here I'm going to try it. I'm going into my turn. I rise up, I'm rotated to the circle, I turn and check. And you can see it's not so easy to balance. Let's try it on the other side. I skate in like this, rise up, I'm rotated, and I turn and check. Like so. Now this is a great one for improving your balance on turns, and it can be done doing virtually any 1-foot turn. Anything can be practiced using a wobble board, and if you don't have a wobble board to use, we can send it to the side and let's do it in our socks. I'm skating into it, I rise up, I'm slightly on the toe, got the weight on the ball of the foot, I turn and check. Again, very challenging on the floor. Push, rise up, turn. You don't want to practice it too much on the toe. If you're right up here, you're probably going to get into a habit of going onto your toe during the 3 turns. So try and just get your heel off the floor. You want it close to the floor, not up here, but down there, and check. And that's really going to help you. Now when practicing the turns on the wobble board or in your fuzzy socks, I'd recommend doing them as you would on the ice. You do it maybe 5, 6, 7 times, just walk through it and walk through it, and however much time you want to spend on it really. The more time you spend practicing it, the better it'll be and the better it'll translate to the ice. Now one final thing to note is that although in this video we looked at getting some movement, then strength, then balance, you don't want to do a deep stretch before you do the strength work. You can save that till the end of the workout. So make sure you start with a warm-up, some light mobility, then your strength work, then your balance work, and then you can do a deeper stretch at the end. Now I hope you've enjoyed this video on 3 effective ways to improve your turns and check position off the ice. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and let us know down below in the comments section what you think. And I just want to give a huge shout out to our patrons who support us on Patreon. It's through their support that we're able to keep this channel going.